So mobility within Transport for London is key. We need to make sure that we've got accessible data in all areas, whether it be above ground or whether it be underground. And being underground obviously drives its own challenges. So working with our strategic departments around a year to 18 months ago, we pulled some ideas together of the advantages of mobility across our organisation. One of the considerations was could we deliver Wi-Fi technology deep on the darkest stations on the underground. Predominantly our thinking in the first place was to enable our internal users, our customer service agents, our train drivers, those people who are in inaccessible places. And we started to roll out the infrastructure and ran some trials of Victoria. We then started to work with a wider industry to look at, well, okay, if we can use it internally, how could we use it externally as well for some of those travelling people? So we ran a pilot at one of our key stations at Charing Cross, where we had one of the industry leading providers come in and give Wi-Fi access to our travelling customers, and we ran a number of surveys. And the result of those surveys said, yes, there's a demand, there's a need. This would be utilised by people that were utilising our underground and our above ground services. So we developed a business case and some strategy about the art of the possible. We enhanced the infrastructure internally and delivered some basic technology that would allow real-time information from a train perspective to be put in the hands of our customer service agents that work on platforms. And that's been going on for about 8 or 9 months within underground, and we've developed a series of websites and information portals that can now be utilised to assist people travelling in and around our system and services. In parallel to this, we've been working with the industry about how we deliver the similar sort of technologies to people who want to travel on the underground. And it's very, very, very important to us that it remains device agnostic. It remains, if you like, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what organisation you're part of, what part of the world you come from. It just simply has to work. And we're now putting in place the commercials around this to enable this in time for our Olympic activity that's coming on later within 2012. Moving back to the internal perspective, we first of all started by looking at individual pieces of equipment that we currently had across our estate and how we could make those more flexible, how we could make them faster. But it soon became apparent that the true business case, the true potential can only be unlocked when you allow a complete restraint to be lifted on what you can utilise your internal services for. We have to be very cognizant around the regulatory and the compliance of running a railway, but we also need to blend that with what our people want to use and how they want to utilise it. So I'm not suggesting in any way, shape or form that we should be using only Apple technology or any Android device technology or even BlackBerry type technology. What we should be in a position from an information management perspective is say our people need this information. They need it on the most appropriate device for our organisation that drives efficiency both from a usage perspective and also from a financial perspective going forward. Hence the reason we've moved forward with our Wi-Fi opportunity. We should have up to 120 stations live and being utilised by the end of 2012, with the majority of those stations ready and enabled from an internal perspective and an external perspective for the Olympic Games, which will take place around July and beyond towards the end of the rest of the year. We are very excited about this new technology. We do see it being a great advantage for our internal people to reinvigorate them, to move them behind their desks and move them around our different networks, whether they be in surface transport, whether they be in London Underground. You can't run an effective, dynamic transport environment sat behind a desk. Yes, there are services, yes, there are functions of the transport organisation that need to be done from behind a desk, but a majority of the time it's all about being out and about and driving a well-run, well-efficient transport organisation. And we can do this with the innovation exercises that we've carried out from a Wi-Fi perspective.